Mas Jorge falou que você usava da carne para fazer empada. Aproveitou também para fazer empada. Você também vendeu empada, que eu já vi você vendendo aqui empada, eu já vi.
Eu sei vender até você, eu acho.
Você vendia lanche e um dos lanches era empada. E você pegou a carne da menina e botou como recheio da empada, não foi não?
Eu cheguei a usar a carne sim dela.
Certo. E fez a empada.
Fiz.
E vendeu.
Vendi.
E por que não assume?
Today, in most parts of the world, cannibalism is considered to be one of the biggest taboos, whether it's a trait we learn through evolution or the fact that humans hold some sort of intrinsic value. Naturally, we are mentally repulsed by the idea of eating another human. Now imagine you had eaten meat and later learned you had unknowingly consumed the flesh of another human being. In the years of 2008 to 2012, in the Brazilian state of Pernambuco, in the cities of Olinda and Garanhuns, a cannibalistic love triangle trio confessed to being involved in a series of ritualistic murders. In total, they would claim the lives of 3 women. The trio had also confessed to cannibalism, child abduction, and the selling of human flesh inside of empanadas to unsuspecting customers. The trio consisted of Jorge Negromonte, his wife Isabel Pires, and Bruna Oliveira. In many cases, it's easy to look back, see the warning signs, and think to yourself, this was all preventable. In the case of Jorge Negromonte, it may have been entirely predictable. Revelations of a Schizophrenic was a self-published 34-chapter manuscript which Jorge had written, illustrated, and printed up himself. Jorge had even made a point of getting it registered with the local notary public. Here's an excerpt from the book so you can see what I mean when I say there were warning signs. Looking at the lifeless body of the evil adolescent, I feel relief. I grab some sheet metal and begin to remove all the skin, then I divide her up. We dine on the flesh of evil as a purification ritual. We bury the remains in the patio. In the book, he claimed to hear voices and was fixated on killing women. The book also describes how he formed his relationship with his 2 partners and the killing of their first victim. At some point, Jorge founded what he called the cartel, his own religious sect, but the cartel was also the name given to the voices Jorge claimed to hear. The main goal of this sect was to purify the world and prevent overpopulation. He believed he had to consume the flesh of 4 humans, each victim representing 4 elements: air, earth, water, and fire. Once this purification was complete, he believed a portal would open so he could cross into another plane of existence. Jorge chose to target women because, according to him, they had cursed wombs. Jorge had said that a cherub and an archangel had given him these revelations and told him how to proceed with the murders. When asked by a reporter if he believed he was innocent, he replied, "Is anyone innocent in a war?" In another quote to a reporter, he said, "The pain their families are suffering is only the same pain as I am suffering. I'm also feeling the pain of not having a family. I see myself as a victim too." In 2005, the trio moved to Recife, where Jorge would buy a house there. There they would meet Jessica Herrera, age 17, and mother of an 18-month-old baby girl. Jorge said in an interview, "Whenever we went there, she came over to ask for milk. She had nothing, and she was badly treated by her father. Isabel made contact with her and invited her to come and live with us. We all fell in love with her baby. I would buy everything for her: milk, nappies, her cot. She was like a daughter to me." On the day of the murder, in May 2008, Jessica had said that she wanted to move back with her family, with her daughter. Jorge said in an interview, "I went into her room to try to convince her to stay. I was already starting to have an attack and see the shadows. Bruna came down, and I remember her telling me, 'She can't go. She's a bad person. She has no love for her daughter.' After that, I only remember flashes, blood spurting from her neck, her lifeless body in the bathroom, then her in pieces on the bathroom floor. I only woke up the next day, and everything was already clean. The baby was in her cot. Belle and Bruna had cleaned up everything. They had buried her bones in the backyard. I asked where was Jessica. That's when Bruna said, "Don't you remember? We had to execute her, so she wouldn't take the girl away, and you were the one who did all the work." The trio cooked and ate the remains of Jessica, and sickeningly, served some to Jessica's daughter.
Da carne dela por quantos dias?
Uns 2.
Só?
Não, uns 2 não, uns 3 dias.
Só
10
também?
quilos de carne não
10
dá pra
quilos.
3 dias não, só. 3 pessoas só dentro de casa.
10 quilos de carne é pra dar umas 2 semanas. Ou
Não
mais.
chegou a dar
Olha,
2 semanas não, porque pretinha, ela é magrinha daquele jeito que é come, viu?
tava se deliciando, né, com a carne? Assim,
E
comia
ela-
muito, então.
Agora, quando essa carne só durou menos por causa da própria pretinha. E da menina que também é pequenininha, que gostava.
Gosta muito de carne.
Não sabe, né? Ela não sabe. Ela pensava que era carne comum.
Não sei.
E eu como normal, né?
Quem comeu mais foi
A
foi
pretinha
e a menina.
E a menina, e ele também não comeu muito não.
Ele não comeu não.
A pequena, a criança, sabia que era carne de gente?
Não.
Sabia,
sabia
não?
não.
Ela só sabe o que aconteceu quando ela contou pra essa menina que eu não tava
E
lá.
quem foi que contou a ela?
Contou o quê?
Que ele levou a mulher pra lá, que a mulher morreu, que ele cortou a mulher. Quem foi que contou?
Eu creio que ela deve, eu creio que ela deve ter visto tudo isso.
Você acha que ela
Ela viu, né?
Ela viu os procedimentos. Deve ter visto os procedimentos e
Deve
Ela
ter
não
ficado
sabia.
assustada.
ela deve ter ficado assustada. De repente eu notei que ela estava nervosa.
From then on, the trio acted as the girl's parents. In February 2012, the trio would meet their second victim, 31-year-old Gisele Helena da Silva. In another quote from Jorge, he said, "I thought she could become a good friend to Bruna, so I took her number. Bruna started calling her, and they had long conversations on the phone. But then Bruna told me how she had confided that she had tried to kill her son and that she had beaten up her young nephew. Bruna started to hate her because she was a bad person. One day she asked Gisele to come to our house. Belle went to see her sister, and Bruna went to meet the girl at the bus stop. She keeps saying to me, 'You know you have to do what the cartel says, don't you?' I walked behind Bruna and Gisele as they went home. When I got to the house, I entered through the back door. I remember walking into the kitchen and holding a hammer, and then seeing Bruna's face, and her saying to me, 'It can be now.' After that, I just remember flashes, the reflection of a kitchen knife, a body, a dead person in the bathroom, and the running shower. I came to my senses the next day, lying on the floor. I looked in the fridge and saw all the meat, already prepared. I thought to myself, it's happened again, in exactly the same way. Only 2 weeks after Gisele's murder, the group targeted another young woman, 20-year-old Alexandra da Silva Falco. They had offered her a job as a babysitter. Jorge said that he was following Bruna and Alexandra through their back door into their house. As I was following them, the cartel started speaking to me, saying something's going to happen. And I was saying to myself that nothing was going to happen, that we were just going to give her a job as a babysitter. Then when I opened the door, I had an attack. I remember seeing the girl's back and me with a knife in my hand. Then it happened just like before. Her body in the bathroom, the shower on, her body in pieces, and the meat in the freezer. Afterwards, I said to Bruna, "I don't understand." She replied to me that Alexandra just wanted to populate the world just to make money. In the interview with Jorge that I keep referencing, Jorge tries to really downplay everything he did and tries to claim that he was taken advantage of by Bruna, claiming that she is a witch that would take advantage of his delusional states he would enter into. It's pretty easy to see through this. Jorge did write Revelations of a Schizophrenic. I personally think Jorge was the ringleader and Bruna was second to him. In 2012, Bruna would be caught on CCTV using Alexandra's credit card a month after she had gone missing. The three would be arrested on April 2012. At first, all three denied knowledge of the crimes, but Isabel would be the first to confess to dismembering the bodies and burying them in the house. On December 15th, 2018, Jorge was sentenced to a total of 98 years. Isabel was sentenced to a total of 92, and Bruna was sentenced to 95 years behind bars. Jorge was diagnosed with schizophrenia and transferred to a psychiatric facility where he still remains to this day. Jorge is age 60 today and claims to have stopped eating meat. So thank you for listening. I found this case pretty disturbing. Yeah, I didn't see anybody really covering this case, so I thought I would take a shot at it. So I recently started a gaming channel where I'm just going to mainly be playing horror games. And I recently started a Let's Play of Bloodborne PSX. I'll go ahead and comment on this video with my second channel, and I'll pin my comment. So just go ahead and click on the profile and it'll lead you to my second channel. And that's Grizzly Grim Gaming. I might be changing the name though. It might just be Grizzly Grim 2 or something like that. Because I'm thinking I might be posting other stuff there as well as gaming, just like random videos that I don't feel like putting up on this main channel. Also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. If anybody wants to collaborate, just go ahead and send me a DM there. And thank you for watching.